Hi, welcome to Hatha Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and today's practice, grab a couple of blocks and a strap, and let's begin in some form of hero's pose. So setting your knees in front of you, either hips distance or narrower, and make sure you're pointing your toes back, feet neither turned out or turned in. You may like to sit up on a block that's between your ankles. Here is a very short excerpt from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali by Sri Satchidananda. If you do not pour water on your plant, what will happen? It will slowly wither and die. Our habits will also slowly wither and die away if we do not give them an opportunity to manifest. You need not fight to stop a habit. Just don't give it an opportunity to repeat itself. So, as we're wrapping up 2022, the end of the year, it's yet another great time to reflect upon habits that we want to keep and habits that we are willing to let fall away by not pouring water on them. So it makes it a little easier to think of it that way, I think. Focus on the path that you now choose to take. Let old habits that you don't want to fall away. Let's bring that into the practice. Sitting still, root down evenly through your left and right sitting bones. Lift up tall through your spine as you level your chin with the floor. Relax the shoulders, lifting the heart. Bring your attention to your physical body and just start to scan it, observing any sensations. Becoming more aware of your physical state. Land your awareness on the breath and just keep it natural. And the qualities that you observe in your breathing, notice your energetic state. Bring your attention to your mind, sensing its activities and the kinds of thoughts. And any emotions present. Tuning into your mental and emotional state. So having assessed these outermost koshas or layers of self, now bring your attention to your heart energy, beginning to uplift your own self by offering gratitude to anything you appreciate right now. As you feel your heart energy expand with gratitude, begin to deepen your breath. Imagine breathing into your heart center at the middle of your chest and upper back. Exhale a few times out through your lips. Each time, maybe a deeper but gentle breath. And now start to identify what path you choose to step forward on, setting your intention for what you're wanting to create, cultivate, manifest. Any new habits you want to direct your focus and energy towards. If so, bring your attention to how those new habits will bring more joy and benefit to your life. And as a means of sharing the benefits of our practice, now I invite you to dedicate today's practice to someone or something that you care about. Let's join our voices to chant Om 3 times, creating resonance together. Inhale a little fuller. Bow in towards your body's wisdom and your inner guidance, listening to that as you practice, remembering to go at your own pace, resting when and if you need, and taking the variations of asanas that are most appropriate for you right now. So let's make our way into downward facing dog. We're going to be practicing quite a few spinal twists today. So start in downward facing dog. To just move your body any way it may need, promoting energy to flow more freely, which is one of the purposes of the spinal twists. So you may like to, pedal your feet in place, maybe swivel your hips left and right, softly shake and nod your head, relaxing your neck. Start to cultivate a gentle whispering sound as you continue to breathe, if you can, with the lips closed, beginning the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. So creating a soft whispering sound, balance the length of inhales and exhales slowly. Now let your downward dog be still as you steady your eyes, your gaze or drishti on one spot for about 3 more full breaths. Roll your triceps towards the earth and spread your shoulder blades across your upper back. Lifting the shoulders and hips back, firm your belly in. When you finish your 3rd exhalation, walk up to the front of your mat into a standing forward fold. Feet hips width apart, parallel to each other. Press your fingertips either on blocks in front of you, your legs or the ground. As you inhale, activate your belly and stretch your spine forward into a half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold towards your legs, Uttanasana. Press through your feet and inhale, sweep your arms forward and rise up into Urdhva Hastasana. Gently coil your chest up into a light back bend. As you exhale, bring your hands in prayer from your crown center down to your heart center. Connecting with your intention for today's practice, let's move through our first series of sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Plant your fingertips on the floor and inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. Look up. As you hold your breath, step back into the top of a push-up plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide to the floor and coil your chest up to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, coil your chest up. Exhale, join your palms to meet at your heart. One more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step the right knee back in Anjaneyasana with your hands down. Holding your breath, step to plank pose. Exhale, Ashtangasana, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Bhujangasana or cobra pose. Exhale, downward dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee in Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. With hands at your heart and mountain, exhale to Padasana. Let's move on to our second series of Surya Namaskar. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. This time, press your fingertips down and inhale, lengthen your spine to Ardha Uttanasana. Step into plank pose. As you exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale to Cobra or Upward Facing Duck. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This time, pause in stillness, rebalancing 3 deep breaths. After your third exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. One more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Either step to plank or lightly jump to Chaturanga Dandasana. Oop. Lowering to Cobra or Upward Facing Duck. Inhale. Exhale to Downward Facing Duck. Pause again for 3 breaths, cultivating stillness. After your third out breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Moving to our last series of Surya Namaskars. Bring the inner edges of your big toes to touch so we can start in chair pose or Utkatasana. Empty this breath. As you inhale, bend your knees to touch. Maybe graze the floor with your fingertips sitting that low before you raise your arms in Utkatasana. Exhale, shift your weight forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float into your vinyasa. When you arrive at Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale to softly step the foot beside your right thumb, spinning your left heel down. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. Downward dog, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale the foot beside your left thumb, spin your right heel down. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale into your vinyasa. Again, let's pause in stillness at Adho Mukha Svanasana for 3 deep breaths, steadying your focus, bringing your attention to your intention, that new habit or path you're choosing to move towards. When you're ready, walk or float to the front of your mat with your feet touching. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. One more time, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float into your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale the foot beside your right thumb. Spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower. Vinyasa. Second side, inhale, raise left leg. Exhale the foot beside left thumb. Spin the right heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Vinyasa. Three breaths in downward dog. After the third exhale, walk or float to the top. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. Let's separate the feet hips distance apart, parallel to each other. And we'll give the outer wrists a stretch for a moment in Padahastasana. So with your hands on your hips, inhale, roll your shoulders behind you and lift your chest. Exhale, stretch your spine like a flat back and bow from your hips. Feel free to bend your knees. That allows you to unwind the spine more freely. And then lift your toes and slip your palms face up underneath the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists in Padahastasana. As you keep your hands under, lean forward and inhale, lift your chest. Press your heart through the gates of your arms. As you exhale, keep bowing, drop your head, completely relax your neck for a few breaths. And if you're able to, bend your elbows apart to help lift your shoulders away from your neck as you drop your skull. Tune into the quality of your breath. As you sense what your energy level is at this point of your practice, choose how you can harmonize with it, cultivate balance. Either take another vinyasa, step down to hands and knees and flow through a few gentle cat-cows, or step back directly to downward facing dog. Excuse me. Spud. Arriving in downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you, keeping your hips leveled. So turn the right outer hip to face down. Exhale, bring your right knee to hug high outside your right shoulder as you stack your shoulders over your wrists and plank. Then step your right foot beside your right thumb in a high lunge and inhale, rise to crescent pose. Take a full cycle of breath here. Then spin your left heel down and open up to Warrior Two, where you align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot, splaying your arms wide apart. Steady your gaze just past your right hand. As you bend your right knee directly above your right heel, firm the outer edge of your left foot deeply into the earth. As you rotate your right outer hip beneath you, firm the top of your left thigh bone back. Stack your two shoulders right above your two hips, relaxing them down as you lift through the back of your skull. Last couple of breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Triangle pose, straighten your right leg and sweep your hips towards the rear wall, extending your right fingertips towards the front wall before placing it on the right side of your right shin. As you raise your left arm towards the sky, stack your shoulders and wrists in one line. Rotate your chest slightly to face the sky, steadying your gaze on one focal point. Firming down through the outer edge of your left foot, tack your right hip crease towards it and stretch the crown of your head forward, peeling the shoulders down your back. Trikonasana. 3 more breaths. Gaze at your right foot and lower your 2 hands to frame it on blocks or the floor. Step your right foot to the right about 4 or 5 more inches and walk your left foot forward 1/3 shorter stance. Pyramid pose. Level out your hips. Firm down through spread toes and all of your feet. Activate the front muscles of your thighs. As you engage the belly too, inhale, stretch your spine like a flat back, tracing the midline of your mat. Exhale a little bit at a time, fold forward from your hips. Parsvottanasana. Let's prepare for twisting triangle. Keep rooting firmly through your feet and inhale, lift your spine again, parallel to the floor. Keep your left hand on a block or the ground directly under your left shoulder. Using your right thumb, tack your right outer hip crease back. Firm your hips towards your midline and begin to turn your rib cage little by little to face the right wall. Twisting at your waistline, raise your right arm up. Parita Trikonasana. As you inhale, firm down to your feet, legs straight, and keep stretching your spine forward, drawing the shoulders down your back. As you exhale, hug your outer hips towards your midline and continue to spin your right ribs towards the sky, your left ribs towards your right wall for 3 more breaths. Maybe placing the left hand on the outside of your front foot. Looking at your right foot, lower into plank pose and take it through a vinyasa if you choose. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg straight behind you, squaring your hips. Exhale, hug your left knee high outside your left shoulder in plank pose. Gently step your left foot beside your left thumb in a high lunge. Then inhale, rise to crescent pose, pausing for a full cycle of breath. Then spin your right heel down and align your left heel to the arch of your right foot, opening up to your right side in Virabhadrasana 2. Set your gaze steady, just past your left hand. Bending your left knee right above your left heel. Firm the outside edge of your right foot into the ground. Rotating your left outer hip underneath you. Firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Stack your shoulders above your hips and lengthen through the center of your spine for a few more breaths. Triangle pose, straighten your left leg and sweep your hips towards the rear wall, lengthening forward towards the front wall. Place your left hand on the left side of your left shin. Stack your shoulders and wrists in one straight line. Spiraling your chest slightly to face the sky. Steady your gaze. Keep rooting the outer edge of your right foot firmly into the floor and tack the crease of your left hip back towards that heel while lengthening your torso further forward. Trikonasana. Gaze down at your left foot and frame your left ankle with both hands on blocks of the floor. Step your left foot to the left another 4 or 5 inches. Step your right foot forward 1/3 shorter stance, dropping the heel down. Turn both of your frontal hip bones to equally face the front wall. And as you firm down through spread toes, inner and outer heels, slightly lift your kneecaps by engaging your quadriceps, firming in the belly. Inhale, reach your sternum forward. Exhale, hinge forward little by little from your hips. Parsvottanasana. Firming down to your feet, engage your belly and inhale, lift your spine parallel to the ground. Keep your right hand down and use your left thumb to tack the left outer hip back as you begin to twist to your left side across your waistline. Raise the left arm up and continue to stack your shoulders and wrists. Each in breath, from down to your feet and keep stretching your spine forward. Each out breath, hug your outer hips towards your midline and spin your rib cage without twisting your pelvis. Parita Trikonasana. Maybe place the right hand on the outside of your front foot. Gaze down at your left foot. An optional flow through a vinyasa. Let's meet in downward dog. Slowing down your breathing, check in for a moment with your body. Notice its sensations now. Rooting down through finger spread. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Keep your shoulders balanced in height as you exhale to cross your right knee to touch your left elbow in plank. Step your left foot beside your right thumb and spin your left heel down for warrior one. Inhale to rise up. Steady your gaze forward or up past your thumbs, whether your hands are together or apart. As you root both of your feet entirely on the ground, straighten your left leg. Press your outer left heel into the floor and spin your inner left thigh towards your rear wall. At the same time, bend your right knee right above your right heel and draw your right outer hip back towards your rear wall. Then slightly lift your frontal hip bones, lengthening up and down your spine for 2 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 1. For Degasana, either keep your arms overhead, or if you have any sensitivities in your lower back, bring your arms down by your sides instead, with your palms facing forward. Keep your hips evenly facing forward and your belly engaged while you tilt your torso forward to hover your belly just a few inches off of your front thigh. Relax the shoulders down your back. Shift all your weight into your right foot, leaning forward into warrior 3. As you lift the left leg, flex the foot and press the instep towards your rear wall. Lift the sides of your waist like you would in plank pose and lengthen through the center line of your body. making it into a horizontal line as you square your hips. Virabhadrasana 3. Place your fingertips down on blocks or the floor and walk your left hand to the right until it's 1 foot in front of your right big toe, preparing for twisting half moon pose. Again, use your right thumb to tack your right outer hip back. And this time, press back through the instep of your left foot and stretch the crown of your head forward as you breathe in. With your hips still, exhale, begin to twist to your right, then raise your right arm up. Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Twisting half moon pose. Begin to step into Warrior One and reverse it. Wrap the right arm behind you. Left arm overhead as you coil your chest up. Stretching down the left side of your abdomen, hip flexors. One more full breath. Lower into Vinyasa or go straight to Downward Dog. Tune in for a couple of breaths. Excuse me. Sit. Sit, Arnold. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you and keep your shoulders leveled. Exhaling as you touch left knee to right elbow. Step your left foot beside your left thumb and spin your right heel down. Inhale to Warrior One. So as you arrive, right away steady your gaze. Arms straight up, shoulders relaxed. Root your right outer heel into the earth as you completely straighten your right leg, spinning your inner right thigh towards your rear wall. Bend your left knee directly above your left heel, drawing your left thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. Lift your frontal hip bones and lengthen both up and down through the center of your spine. Keeping your hips squared, choose to either keep your arms overhead or bring the arms down by your sides for Degasana, tilting your torso forward, creating a diagonal straight line of energy from your crown, tailbone to inner right heel. Keep squaring your hips and engaging your abdomen as you tilt into Warrior Three, Virabhadrasana 3. Lift the sides of your waist. Spiral your inner right thigh towards the sky and press firmly through the instep of your right foot towards the back wall. Lower your fingertips on blocks or the ground, and let's prepare for another twist. Place your right hand to the left, about 1 foot in front of your left big toe. Use your left thumb and tack the left outer hip back. Inhale to stretch through the center line of your body. Keep your right foot flexed. Exhale, begin to twist to your left. Raising your left arm towards stacking your shoulders and wrists. Twisting half moon pose. Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Gently begin to step back to Warrior One and take it in reverse. Wrap the left arm behind your back and raise the right arm overhead as you coil your chest up. lengthening through your right lower abdomen and hip flexors. On an exhale, take it down to the floor, vinyasa or not, to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Centering on the breath. Let's walk or step or float to the front of your mat in a forward fold. Placing your hands on your hips, point your elbows towards the sky and lengthen your spine forward parallel to the ground. Firming in the belly, imagine this is warrior 3 with your torso. Engage the front muscles of your thighs. Now options, 1, as we enter standing, hand to big toe. Fold back in and use your right peace fingers to clasp your right big toe. And from forward fold, you'll raise the right leg in front of you into hand to big toe pose. Other option, come to stand in mountain pose first. And either bend your right knee, keep it bent, and raise the left arm in hand to big toe. Or use a strap and step the ball of your right foot into the loop or center of the strap. Holding the strap with your right arm inside of your right leg, kick the foot forward towards whatever degree you can straighten the right leg, left arm to the sky. So whatever you choose, make sure that you're able to stand tall. Spine is vertical. Focus on rotating the right sitting bone downward or reaching it downward towards your inner left heel as you stretch through the center line of your body like you did in Warrior 3. Back to the breath. Steady gaze. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Once you've had a steadiness in your balance, you might venture into a spinal twist here. Parita Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. If your right knee is bent, take hold of the outside of it with your left hand. If you're holding a strap, switch hands holding the strap. Otherwise, use your left hand to catch hold of your outer right foot. And again, use your right thumb to roll the right hip crease down. Stand a little taller as you breathe in and begin to turn your rib cage to the right as you breathe out. Extending your right arm behind you into a spinal twist. As you breathe in, stand a little taller. As you breathe out, continue to twist. Maybe gazing past your right thumb. Gazing forward again. Another breath in. Exhale to mountain pose. Hands together at the heart. Let a full breath through. So entering side 2 of hand to big toe. Start in a forward fold and clasp the big toe with your peace fingers. Start in mountain and hold your outer knee with a left hand, or take a strap and step the ball of your left foot into it, kicking the foot forward, making sure that what you choose allows you to have a vertical upright spine. Then focus for a moment on your center, right below your belly button. Strengthening that area as you drop the sitting bone towards your inner right heel and lift up through the inseam of your right leg and your crown. Raise your right arm up, steadying your gaze. Entering the twist, take the outer knee, outer foot, or switch hands holding the strap. With your left thumb, press your left outer hip crease down. Then press into the ground and stand up taller as you breathe in. Begin to twist at your waistline to the left as you breathe out. Staying in your twist, gaze forward for another breath. And step it down to mountain pose, hands at the heart, Padasana. Let's step the feet apart, preparing for a wide-legged forward fold. Parallel your feet, bring your hands behind your back to clasp or hold a strap between. Rolling your shoulders back and down, inhale, lift your heart. Then exhale, begin to hinge from your hips, shifting your weight forward so that you can align your hips with your ankles, dropping your head. Few options from here. If you're still itching for more twists, lengthen your spine halfway, place one hand down and raise the opposite. If you're looking for a headstand and you practice tripod headstand, take it through on your own for a few breaths. If your head's standing, gently lower your feet. And let's lengthen forward halfway up. Pause and breathe there. Crawl your hands to the front of your mat and pivot to a lunge, lowering down to your knees for hero's pose. So as you come down to your knees, remember you can sit on a block between your ankles, you can sit on your calves, or if you're feeling pretty open in the front of your thighs and hips and your knees feel fine with it, sit on the ground between your ankles. Keep your knees on the ground as we prepare for supine hero. Press down through all of your toenails, including your pinky toes. Soften in the bottom of your front ribs. And to your capacity, breath by breath, start to lean back. Maybe you place some blocks behind you to catch your back or a pillow, or you lower to your elbows, or you lower flat onto the ground. Let's give ourselves about 10 full breaths exploring here as we're preparing for our last active back bends by further opening our front bodies, including your hips and quadriceps. If you're lying on your back, you might catch hold of opposite elbows overhead like I'm doing here. And then halfway through, switch the arm that's on top. Now is a good midway point. When you're ready, gently begin to lift your spine. And let's meet lying on our bellies, face down, preparing for 2 rounds of Dhanurasana, bow pose. Now, you probably already know that spinal twists help to activate digestive flow, clearing blockages along the spine and main chakras. Dhanurasana or bow is another optimal pose for promoting digestion. So as you're lying face down, slide your knees as close together as you can. Press your pubic bone into the floor as you bend both knees and catch hold of your outer feet, good place to start, or your inner feet if you feel pretty open in the front of your shoulders. Kick your feet equal pressure into each hand away from you as you pull your feet towards you, lifting your knees high off the ground and no wider apart than your hips distance. Peel the fronts of your shoulders back and then press the shoulder blades down your back, extending your sternum forward. Lengthen the back of your neck by looking slightly down. Let's give it another 5 to 7 breaths before letting go to rest. When you've let it go, drop everything, be still, and observe what you feel. Let's prepare for one last bow pose, Dhanurasana. Take it on your own for 5 to 10 breaths. Once you've let it go, be still for 3 breaths. Then please press up to stand on your knees for 2 last back bends, 2 rounds of camel pose, Ustrasana. So you might start by hugging a block by the skinniest width firmly between your knees and thighs, as that offers a bit more stability for the lower back. You might also tuck the toes behind you. That also offers a little more stability, and it's a good place to start on the first round. Stepping your knees about hips width apart, spiral your inner thighs slightly towards your back wall as you actively lengthen your tailbone down towards the floor, right between the knees. Backstroke your arms and place your hands on your lower back, fingertips face down. With your hands, gently press your pelvis forward to keep it directly above your knees the whole posture. Also encourage your tailbone to keep lengthening down as you lift the back ribs. We're going to focus on back bending mostly right beneath the shoulder blades, not so much the lower back. So as you inhale, lift your chest and roll your shoulders behind you. Tilting the chest up, melt the shoulder blades down, and stay another 5 to 7 breaths before you use your hands on the lower back to help you rise and then come to sit. You might reach for a heel behind you with one hand and then switch hands, or maybe take both heels. Sit to rest for 3 breaths in a mindful pause. Present with whatever sensations, emotions, energies you feel. Then take your last back bend in Ustrasana. Toes tucked or not, 5 to 10 breaths. Maybe this time resting, a hand on your heart, a hand on your lower belly, when you pause to digest your experience. Now come to sit with your legs in front of you, and we'll prepare for one last spinal twist. Extending your left leg in front of you. Step your right foot on the floor, either directly in front of your right hip or cross the foot outside of your left knee. And also bend the left knee, making sure you choose the option that lets you sit tall with both hips grounded. Place your right hand behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Press into the floor with every part of your body touching it as you lift up through the center of your spine, breathing in. At your waistline, exhale, begin to twist to the right, lowering your left arm to hold your right leg, or hooking your left elbow outside that thigh. Breath by breath, explore your range in the spinal twist. About 5 more breaths. Once you've emptied this breath, unwind your spine and take that right shin and place it in front or on top of your left shin, whether you're sitting cross-legged or if you're able to, cross your ankles and knees to stack and flex your feet for double pigeon. Ground your sitting bones again, and you might opt to sit on a folded blanket if that helps you sit taller. Relax your shoulders, keep your throat open and your sternum slightly lifted. Breathe in. Then exhale, begin to hinge forward. Take your time for the next 5 to 7 breaths, folding to your range without rounding your back. As you press your pelvis down, inhale, lift from your chest to rise. Stretch your legs out in front of you for a moment and maybe shake them out before we switch sides in the twist. Then extend your right leg forward and step your left foot either in front of your left hip or outside of your right knee, where you might also bend your right knee. Try to set up the same way as you did on the first side. Place your left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm up, and root into the floor, even with the sole of your left foot, definitely your hips. Inhale, lengthen to your crown. Exhale, twist at your waistline to the left. Lower your right arm, holding your leg, or hook your elbow outside the leg and keep going. Breath by breath. As you exhale, unwind your spine and bring your left shin to stack forward or on top of your right shin. And if able, stack your ankles and knees and flex your feet in double pigeon. Root your sitting bones and lengthen your spine with your heart slightly lifted and leading. Exhale, folds. 5 to 7 breaths. Pressing your pelvis down, breathe in and lead from your chest to rise. Let's turn to face the wide width of your mat for a wide-legged seated forward fold, straddling the legs apart. Again, with the option of sitting up on a folded blanket. With your hands, cup the tops of your thighs and rotate your inner thighs back. Sitting up tall on your sitting bones, flex your feet and make sure your knees stay pointed up. Place your hands on blocks of the floor in front of you and lift your frontal hip bones. Lengthen your spine again as you breathe in. With your exhales, gently folds. Just about 5 to 7 breaths. Keep your sitting bones rooted and heart slightly lifted. Belly firming in. Press your hips down and inhale to slowly rise. Please find a comfortable way to sit so that we can practice a brief pranayama before we rest in Shavasana. This pranayama is helpful to release any stagnant air in the lungs or feelings of stagnancy to go with it. It's done by inhaling through your nose for a count of 4, holding the breath in for a count of 7, and exhaling through pursed lips for a count of 8, focusing on completely exhaling, emptying any last bit of air from your lungs. Let's try 3 cycles together, 2 cycles on your own. To sit in a way that you feel comfortable in your body, grounded evenly through both sides, and tall through the spine with an open heart space. You might place your hands in a mudra. One that cultivates inner balance is to stack the palms face up on the center of your lap with your thumb tips touching. If it helps to visualize the breathing, close your eyes. Let's prepare by emptying this breath. Hold the breath out. And through your nose, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the lips, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cycle 2, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cycle 3. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue 2 more cycles of 4, 7, 8 breath. When you finish, let your breath be natural. Observe it. Observe how you feel. Then begin to lower your body to the ground, finding a comfortable resting posture for Shavasana. Lie down, let your feet splay apart. Maybe turn your palms up in a gesture of openness as you close your eyes and relax into natural breathing and restful stillness. As you rest here a little longer, become aware of how you feel in your physical body. Gently bring some movement into your fingers, your toes. Slowly turning your head, notice the sensations along your neck. Ease into a simple stretch as you keep your eyes closed. Gradually turning over onto your right side, resting your head. As you arrive there, sense the quality of your natural breath. Tuning into how you feel energetically. Then gently lift your body into a comfortable way to sit for 5 minutes of meditation. Find a position in which you can equally ground to your left and right sides of your pelvis. Lift tall to create an open feeling in your torso for the breath. And place your hands in a mudra if you like. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead, resting your awareness on the place in your body where you can easily feel the natural breath. As we began the practice, speaking about old habits that we may no longer find useful, I invite you to instead turn your attention towards the new habit that will replace it. And as you say in your mind what that new habit is, I invite you for the next 2 minutes to imagine the ways that that new habit will bring joy, abundance, or good health, or any advantages to your life, and perhaps to others. Engage all your senses in imagining how this new habit will benefit you and maybe those around you. As you immerse in the feeling tone of those positive benefits, I invite you next to ask your inner being, how can I support this new habit? What is the next small step I can take? Now sit in the space that you've cultivated within you for the last minute of this practice. And notice how you're feeling now mentally and emotionally. Moving forward, remember that you're always moving forward. If that old habit starts to creep up again, take a deep breath, pause, and remember which direction you want to go. Let's close the practice, offering gratitude for anything you appreciate now. Remember to thank yourself for your efforts and showing up and following through with your practice today. Then remind yourself of your intention for this practice. And remember to whom or what you dedicated it to. And let's close chanting Om 3 times. Inhale fully. Om. Bow in towards your inner guidance. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.